Once upon a time, there was a man who inherited a well. But what happened was that the rats gnawed through the rope attached to the bucket, which was used to draw water from the well, and so the bucket fell into the bottom of the well. But a friendly neighbour offered the man a pump, a hand pump. And he set it up and put the tube down into the water in the well and demonstrated to the man how to prime the pump and use the pump, work the handle. But the man didn't listen. He was thinking of something else. He was a bit distracted. And since the bucket had fallen into the well, he wasn't using the well. He drew water out of the river that ran through the village. So he never used the well and didn't bother. Just went on drawing water from the river. But one year there was a terrible drought and the river ran dry. And the man had forgotten the instructions, and he'd never bothered to practice using the pump. And so he died of thirst. Anyway, his farm was passed on to his nephew. And when the nephew came, he met up with the neighbour who had installed the pump. And the neighbour said that he could keep the pump there and keep using it. And this nephew was a bit smarter than his uncle. And he started practicing how to use the pump, even though he didn't actually need it at the time, because there was plenty of water in the river. Nonetheless, he got that pump working, began to use it. He found it was easier than going down to the river just to pump the water up from the well. Anyway, another drought came along. Worse even than the previous drought. There wasn't a drop of water anywhere. But the nephew continued to draw water out of the well, not only for himself, but for the neighbours. They came to him to ask if they could have some water from his well, and he taught them all how to use the pump. He said, come along any time and just work the lever and draw water from the well. So not only did he thrive during the drought, he pulled up enough water to water his animals and water the garden and all his needs, but also the whole village prospered. They also drew up water from the well to meet their needs. So the moral of the story is practice working the pump to draw the water from the well before you really need it. So the well represents the unlimited source of life energy, of qi, residing deep within you, below the breath. And the pump represents the mechanism that you use to draw this qi up. And that is lifting the tongue. Not right back, it still faces forward, but you lift it just a couple of centimeters, like so. And that's like the handle of the pump. And the breath is like the tube that runs from the pump down into the well that draws up the water. So do it now, just lift up your tongue. It's a bit like someone lying in a bed that props themselves up on their elbows. It's that sort of angle. Taste the qi round the tongue. Feel the energy around the tongue. And as you do so, you'll feel your breath going deeper and stronger. You feel the qi, the power, the life force in your breath, rising up from deep below the bottom of the breath. Filling you up with the water of life. And as you practice this technique, when you're sitting down in front of a screen, when you're sitting at the wheel of your car, when you're sitting, relaxing to read a book or listen to music, when you're walking, when you're washing the dishes, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you're breathing. And the water of life is in the well of your being, waiting for you to lift it up below your breath. All you have to do is remember to lift your tongue, which is to start working the pump. Lift the tongue. That reminds you, and that triggers the process. As you lift your tongue, you can begin to feel the qi rising up in your breath. There's more than just air now in your breath. There's this life force, this power. There's the bliss in your breath now. Calming you down. Bringing you to peace. And if you practice this method, this technique from Tai Chi and yoga, combined. It will begin to practice you. After a while, it becomes automatic. You suddenly find yourself doing this without thinking about it. And then, when you're in a stressful situation, when you're anxious, when you're getting upset or annoyed, you just remember to lift your tongue, align the chi, come into your power, and just collect yourself and allow the power of the chi, allow the power of your life force to calm you down and bring you to peace. Just breathe in to the problem, remembering that in the big picture, nothing matters. Apart from the love that we feel, that comes up from the heart, love that we draw up deep within ourselves, and the care that we have for ourselves and for others. So the best way to maintain the practice of the open way, which is what I call this procedure, is to teach it to others. This is why I'm teaching it to you, because this is the way that I remind myself to stay centered on the breath, to use the open way. Namaste.